My next guest on the Tea Time sofa is Nyasha Gwatidzo, social entrepreneur, founder of Banya Fostering Services and global philanthropist. She shares her latest passion to help women entrepreneurs with the Wild Impact Fund she created, as well as celebrating International Women's Day. Nyasha, who is from Zimbabwe, has helped thousands of children and is committed to helping children and women grow. She is the salt of the earth and one of the most genuinely inspiring female entrepreneurs. Let's find out more. Nyasha, welcome to Tea Time with me, Ali Monjak. How are you today, apart from feeling a little bit stressed about traveling this week?
I'm fine. I'm really on a high about I think you get on a high when you're about to travel because you're overthinking things about what you need to leave, what you need to take, what you need to hand over. And also I've got this conference on Thursday. So that's another thing which is keeping me quite high.
You have.
So I'm very excited.
And I mean, you started off life really becoming a social entrepreneur because of your love of helping children, didn't you? And now it's sort of your whole entrepreneurial ship, so to speak, has grown, and now you're helping women out with your women's investment fund, which is just brilliant. So let's just sort of wind the clock back a little bit to those kind of early days when you started to set up Banya, the fostering service. I mean, that was quite a project in itself, wasn't it?
Oh, it was an undertaking. It was, it never been done. Banya was the first such agency in London. When we set up, I think there was about 2 or 3 such agencies in Kent. So it was moving into new territory and disrupting the status quo, because fostering had been done by big charities like Barnardo's, and then Barnardo's was mainly adoption actually, and the local government. It was only local government which used to do fostering. So my agency was saying it can be done independently of local government and big charities.
So that's what you did. And I mean, you've helped over the years countless amounts of families and children, haven't you? I mean,
thousands. Yeah. Last time I counted, I think it was about 7,000 children I've helped through the fostering agency over the last 25 years. And we're still doing it. I started in my kitchen table, and now with a national agency. It's really grown out of my expectation. I was quite happy for it to remain in my kitchen table. I was forced to get out of my kitchen table.
Well, do you know what? I think we all are. I mean, it's, as you know, I do Tea Time with Ali Monjak, but I mean, my media project started in September, so I haven't left the house yet.
Yeah. Yes, you're still there. Oh, that's lovely. And I think lockdown, it's been a good. It has had its positives in that people have been able to do things they would have never done if they were up and down going around. It just, while you're in, what can I do while I'm in the house? I know a lot of people have set up their projects during lockdown.
Yeah, well, this is it. I think, never before have we had, I just saw it as an opportunity, to be at home and have that time and not be on the road, because, a lot of the time we spend, I was spending a load of time on the road.
Well, the same with me. I was flying around the world. I was in meetings and traveling. I would never think of flying in from Guernsey, because I actually live in Guernsey, come to London for the day and go back in the evening. And I did it once actually, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturday I thought I was going to die. Every bit of my body ached, and I said, why on earth did I do that? But I was able to, but now I can't. So for me, I really have enjoyed it because it really has grounded me. I've been at home. And simple things like decluttering my kitchen cabinets, decluttering my garage. At the moment, I've got about 4 skips outside. I've got a container going to Zimbabwe with things which have been in the garage for the last 100 years, which are useful, and I think they can be used in Africa. And I would have never done any of it if it wasn't lockdown. I would have never done it.
Well, there you go.
I would be flying somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've recycled a load of stuff that can basically go out to Zimbabwe for this project that you're really in the throes, aren't you?
Yes. The things I'm recycling is for my charity. I'm going to give some of the things to the children. We pay school fees for children in Zimbabwe, disadvantaged in children in Southern Africa. We've got some children in South Africa and some in Zimbabwe. And our students are packed loads and loads of clothes for children, which I'm going to donate through my charity. And I'm building a house where I'm going to be staying in Zimbabwe. So I've sent some of my microwave, which was in the garage, which there's nothing wrong with it, it's still working. So that because I'm going to be based in Africa and traveling around Africa to work with my women entrepreneurs. So it's building a base in Zimbabwe. I'm going to be based in Zimbabwe, but I'm going to be traveling South Africa, Malawi, Kenya, you name it.
I mean, you're holding an International Women's Day celebration, aren't you, this Thursday?
Yes.
I mean, just tell me, I mean, you don't really have to tell me because I can see that, but what is it that you think women bring to the party? What do we bring to the party?
Women bring a lot to the party. I love working with women. And the international, I always do something to celebrate International Women's Day. It's a special day to acknowledge what women do to contribute to society. I mean, it starts from really basic that we give birth to children. It's just a magical thing for a woman to be able to do that. Men can't do that. And once in terms of my fund and why I want to, either they're the ones who give birth to children, they're the ones who care for them, and they're the ones who will ensure, if you empower a woman, that they will ensure that the child is fed, the child is goes to school, the child has access to health resources, especially if you empower them economically. They just do wonders. With very little, they will look after the community. It's not just their child they've given birth to. They're also very, very aware about the community in which they live. And I see that here in Europe, I see that in Africa, when you see a woman entrepreneur, they try and contribute. I don't know why that we contribute more than I think men. Men can be quite insular. They can also be quite conservative. They're only thinking about their immediate family. Whereas women, I think it's really, we give birth, we're thinking more of the community, more than just our immediate family. Children we've given birth to, they want to contribute more. I just think that we are, I don't know, I think maybe the feminine side which drives us to be more empathetic to the society in which we live.
So really what you're trying to do here then is, Nyasha, you're trying to invest in the future generations.
Definitely. Because if I empower a woman now, she will make sure that that child, and how do we know that these children are not going to be our future leaders?
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the leaders across the globe, there's some interesting stories there, isn't there, really?
Yes, there is. That's a story in itself.
It is a
Yeah.
story in itself, definitely.
Mm,
And I mean,
mm.
your whole raison d'etre, your whole sort of being is about helping people, isn't it? Really
Yes.
helping people.
Humanist. I think humanistic. I love human beings. I just love them, and I even love babies even more.
Oh, no, that's lovely. No, I do as well. I really love human beings. I think, yeah,
Yes.
it's
Mm.
and if you can help somebody, I think that's just an amazing thing to do. If you can help one person, it's an
The
amazing
one
thing to do.
for me, that's what gets me. If I can help one person, one child, every time I wake up, I say, today, what am I doing to help one child? That's enough for me. It's enough for me. I've done my service to the community. It doesn't have to be millions or thousands. I feel extremely privileged that I'm able to help more than one person.
Yeah.
Absolute privilege.
Yes. I mean, back when you first started out, you probably didn't realize how many people and children that
Yeah.
you'd actually help, did
Yes, yes. When I was starting with my children's home, I thought I just wanted to look after 6 kids at any given time in this home. I set up the therapeutic home, and that's all I thought about. And I don't know why. I never thought about these 6 kids will move or they'll grow. I just had 6 kids. I never. So with that, I mean, they came and go. When they became 18, they left us, and new kids came. So, but the number in my head was 6 children, and I've ended up uh, going into fostering from the children's home experience. And again, I started my fostering agent with 4 carers who were my staff members at the children's home. And so I was thinking, I'm going to help these 4, I'm going to place children with these 4 carers, and that's about it. So I was really thinking small, but and now when I'm working with other women, when I mentor other women entrepreneurs at any stage of their business, I always say that we need to think big. You need to think something which actually scares me, because at the time, if I thought I'm gonna help 10,000 children,
Yeah.
it would have actually paralyzed me and say, who do I think I am? You know what I mean? I think it would have overwhelmed me.
It's
But I really wish I had thought in those numbers, because I don't know, I just think that, yeah, you need to think big. You need to think beyond yourself, because organizations, and at that time also, I was thinking about creating a job for myself. I wasn't thinking of a business as such. But if you're creating a business, it needs to be beyond a job for yourself. It needs to be an organization which should stand on itself, and it's independent of you, and it's a legacy. It's something you can live, and it can continue making a difference without you actually being there.
Yeah,
Uh,
because otherwise you're not creating a business, are you? If it's
you're just creating a job.
yeah,
You're just creating a
yeah,
job. Yes.
yeah.
So you really need to think big. And you need to think beyond yourself.
I'll
When
bear
you're
that in mind.
Yes, definitely you need to think big.
I'll bear
And
that in mind.
once you think big, honestly, it's almost like me. I believe in abundance,
Mm,
and I really do think that the universe and the world has got enough resources for us all, for us to be able to feed ourselves, to be able to have access to health and education. And once you believe in abundance, honestly, I'm always surprised about what manifests by believing that. When I'm feeling, oh God, where am I? Especially when I was starting, how am I going to pay the next wage staff? Was a local authority will pay me, or an old debt will come through. It just happens magic, because I just believe there's enough. And things just happen when you wake up everything, and you're thinking from deprivation point of view. It's almost like you've got to be really careful what you wish for, and that's what happens. That's actually
right.
what happens. Mm.
Having
If you
blind
think big,
faith.
yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. without sort of, because, you know, the other day I listened to you speak at a business conference, which was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
you were saying that, you know, it really basically you know, everything came from the heart, didn't it? And
Yeah, it just comes
yeah,
from the heart. And your authentic self, and the intention is coming from a good place. And even if you make a mistake, even if you make a decision which is wrong and it's a mistake and you realize later, but at the time, it wasn't a mistake. It's only a mistake with hindsight. At the time, it was the right decision, and it was coming from a good place, and it was coming from your heart. You make that decision from your gut feeling, and there's no point torturing yourself. Oh, I'm not gonna try that again or whatever because I made such a huge mistake. I always say you need to see it as an opportunity to learn, and that at the time when you made that decision, it was right. It's almost like people getting divorced and or getting married. I say when you made the decision to get married, it was fine. You know what I mean? It was you meant it. It was authentic. It was from your heart. And just because you got divorced later on, it doesn't mean that that decision was wrong at the time you made it.
no, I mean,
No.
I can relate to that. No, Nyasha, I can, because I was married for nearly 20 years, and I
Yeah.
got up one day and my husband decided that he was going to live in Spain.
Oh,
So yeah, I can completely sort of relate to that. And I don't
yeah.
regret, you know, the
Yeah. Oh,
nearly
yeah.
20 years that I had with
20
him.
years of life, and
Yeah, and
it kind of been all a mistake.
oh yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, the two children aren't a mistake at all.
Yeah,
They're,
no.
they're
Yes.
gorgeous human beings, you know,
Yes,
that
yeah, yeah,
have great values, and that's
yeah,
what you know you want for your children, to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and have great
yeah.
values.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the best a mother can do. Absolutely, any
because
mother wishes.
absolutely, and I think, you know, it's about being kind as well, don't you think?
Mhm. Yes, you've got to be kind. You've got to be able to give unconditionally, love unconditionally, and not expect anything back. And I write it in my book. I wrote a book in 2014 called "Walk with Me," and I think it's one of my top tips that you've got to give unconditionally, and it's incredible how you get back. The more you give, the more you get back, and you don't get back from the same person. You get back from someone else, completely unrelated. But it's
Yeah.
all, I feel it's just energy which just goes around in circles. and uh, and yeah, I really believe in giving and being kind.
Yeah, no, well, we can see that definitely.
Mhm.
So you're an amazing lady, you really
Oh,
are.
thank you.
And so, you know, I have no doubt that this World Investment Fund that you set up to help
Yeah.
women in Africa, but it's not just women in Africa, is it?
No,
It's
no, no. It's gonna start in women in Africa, but it's a global fund. It's
yeah,
absolutely a global fund, and because women, there's women entrepreneurs around the world, and women find it very difficult to access capital to grow their business. It's not an Africa problem only. I know that I'm all my business life. I've been doing my business in UK for the last 35 years, and I
mm,
have struggled to access money to grow my business. So I know my fund is needed in London, in UK.
yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
it
it's a
is, you
global
know.
problem. Mm.
Yeah, it is a global problem. I mean, I have kind of experienced that as well. So yeah,
Yeah,
it is
access money. Yeah.
definitely, you
Mm.
know, I think, you know, if you're a man, it's, you know, that's another subject in itself though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. They find a way of I don't know. They've got a certain confidence, and they ask things which we'll never dream of asking as women. I don't know why, and they get it. It's I don't know why. I think it's unfair. Why should it be like that? But that's what it is like.
Well, I think it is partly history, isn't it? And the way
Yes.
society has been built, because, we
Yeah.
were always the women, the little woman stayed at home, didn't she? Looked after
Yeah,
the
that's
baby
right.
and did all
And
of
I
that.
think it's gonna take centuries to society norms to catch up with what's actually to catch up with women. We are well ahead. We're quite capable of doing these things, but society hasn't. It's sort of behind.
Yeah,
It has.
no,
It hasn't caught up with us.
it hasn't. And also, it's really interesting because, people like you and I are going out and doing our own thing, but, people in actual sort of, paid for jobs,
Yeah.
there's still the gender pay gap, isn't there? Which
I
is
know. It doesn't matter where you go. I know.
yeah,
It's just awful, awful. I just can't believe it. I have never been part of a corporate, so and I can't imagine those corporate women and the difference in the pay salary doing the same thing. It's just unbelievable.
yeah.
It's, I think it's unethical.
Yeah, I think it's unethical. I totally agree with you because, it's got
Mm,
to be the right person for the job,
yeah. Yes,
you
and
know.
it doesn't matter whether they're a man or a woman. Why should they be valued differently for
Yeah.
their contributions?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this is very
yeah,
true. So,
yeah.
I mean, celebrating International Women's Day this week, it's going to
Oh,
be
that's
fantastic,
fantastic.
isn't it? So you've got lots of people from across the globe joining
Just
in.
go, yeah. I said, oh, I was just talking yesterday to a friend of mine. I said, why don't I make my life so easy? Why do I make it so difficult? Because of this time zone and everything. I thought I had to do a global and try and fit people from New Zealand to Los Angeles. It's been a nightmare trying to negotiate those time zones. And I thought, oh God, it's only me who can do that. Why can't I just do a norm or just UK one? 10 to 4.
Oh, no. I mean, I think it's amazing that you are because, as we said, there's never been a greater time for us all to come together, and we
No,
can now.
yeah, we can now. Yes,
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
this is great. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had said to me, even this time last year, we hadn't really properly started using Zoom yet.
No, 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 no. We were just starting getting used to it. I was using it a bit more because I moved from UK to Guernsey, so I wasn't going into. I was using Zoom a lot more for my meetings, but not as to this level.
No,
And yeah, we were at the beginning. We were thinking this COVID was going to go away. Honestly, even now, I never thought we'll be in this situation today. I thought it was a temporary thing, like bird flu, whatever, for a few months, and we were going to. It was going to pass, but
oh,
we've adjusted very well. Actually,
yeah.
it's become normal to for people to talk like we're doing right now,
Well, thank goodness we
and,
can. Can you
and
imagine? I can't
get
imagine
things
what,
done.
people have done previously in wars, etc. I mean, at least we can
Yeah,
help each other over the internet, which is brilliant.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
fantastic. I love it. I just love it. I don't feel, I feel I can connect. I don't feel that it's impacted on my work and things I need to do, people I need to talk to. I've been able to talk to them.
Yeah. So
Mm.
let's just have a quick chat about some of the speakers that are coming. Uh,
Oh, wow.
Come
There's a
on, tell us
fantastic
who's
lineup.
coming.
Yes. Who has caught your eye on the list?
I'll tell you who has caught my eye, and I'll tell you why. Is Lynn Franks.
Oh, she's a good friend of mine.
She is
She's
amazing as well,
amazing,
isn't she?
amazing woman, full of wisdom. And oh yeah, I've known Lynn for a very, very long time. And oh, she's so excited. I was talking to her yesterday about coming and sharing her wisdom. Great, great activist, very much into the women. Actually, she's coming in quite early on in the day because she's got other things she's doing for International Women's Day. She's put on shows over the years. I've attended with her. No, she's a great woman. She's got great, for me, great wisdom. She started really as a venture. I just used to follow her profile, and then I linked up with her, and I've been to her retreats. She used to do retreats in Mallorca, and now she's doing retreats, and she's got a hub in Somerset, Somerset
Yeah, it's the
Forum
West Country, isn't it? Yeah.
from West Country, and she's a pleasure. A pleasure. And tomorrow I'm gonna be in conversation with her, so it'd be quite nice to catch up with her.
Yeah, no, she is an inspiration, and I'll let you into a secret, Nyasha. I've been following her for years.
You're gonna meet her tomorrow.
She
Yes.
was an inspiration to me years and years ago, and she was such an inspiration to me. She won't know this because I've never actually met her face to face, but to do with PR and the power of messages, because
Communication,
years ago,
yes,
actually basically decided that is what I wanted to do, and it was her that inspired me. I just thought, this communication and bringing people
really? That's so funny.
out there, for greater good was
no,
really
she's definitely
amazing.
there. Yes, no, she definitely, and you should invite her tomorrow to interview her on your podcast. I'm sure she'll do it. I'm sure she'll do it. And if I can help introduce you, I'm more than willing to do that.
Oh, thank you. That's brilliant.
Yes. So that's a podcast, and she's gonna interview me when I come back from Zimbabwe. So and I know she'll love to do that.
Yeah, no, I'd love to have her on as well, as I'm enjoying having you on. I mean, it really is sort of celebrating International Women's Day for all of us. It's about celebrating the inspiration that we all are, because we've all got our own little seed, haven't we?
Yes, and we all got our little seed. And she talks a lot about seed, and she had the seed handbook, and she thinks she's a seed. She some people are good at growing things and whatever, and harvesting things, and she thinks she's a seed. She's the seed thrower. She's one who has got lots of ideas and lots of wisdom. It's just incredible. I don't know whether you've ever read her seed handbook. She did seed, then she did grow, then she did bloom.
Right.
It was
yes, I did have one of her handbooks years ago.
Yes, very. Yes. No, I think I was one of the first people to buy her seed handbook. I've always followed her, and then she went to live in Los Angeles, in California, and then we kept in touch. It was before Zoom. We used to phone in on something, and what's funny, there was a group of us we used to talk to on a Wednesday. So I wonder if she still remembers doing that.
I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does. Yeah. So I mean, So I mean,
Who else caught your eye?
Who else caught my eye? Oh, I can't think now. There was quite a lot of people. I mean, Carmelita, I always find very inspiring.
Coach of mine, and I've known Carmelita for quite a while as well. I'll say about 8 years now, and she's gonna come on about her work, what she does with entrepreneurs. She's very, very supportive person, and motivational to keep you going.
She's very she's a little bit like a rock star, isn't she?
Yeah, rock star. She's got completely different energy to mine. She's coming from a different background. A different energy. Incredible, absolutely incredible woman.
I mean, I can see that, and I think in business or in life, it does take different energies to come together.
Yes. And you should go with your flow, your energy, what it does. It takes very, very diverse energy to be an entrepreneur. And because our drivers, our big whys are different, why we are driven are very, very different. There are so many reasons why people become entrepreneurs. We're doing similar things in terms of enterprise, but the reasons why we're doing it are very, very. I'm always surprised every time. Otherwise, why people do whatever they do.
Well, my thing really is to help people connect and also, engage in current affairs globally, because I don't think that there's enough of that goes on, because the power of media and information can really help people, can't it? It can educate, inspire. And also with For the Now, what we're doing is to entertain people, but that is what my vision is.
It's fantastic.
Because the power of media, as I said, really can help people, help them give a voice, give them an understanding of what's going on, and that information that, having worked in the mainstream press, they don't, I was so fed up, Nyasha, of having to chop up some really amazing interviews in like 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes. Oh, that's such a shame.
Yeah, because
it was almost like sound bites, really, wasn't it? It wasn't an interview.
No, it wasn't an interview, and it wasn't getting to the heart of the matter. And I believe, that if you listen to, our chat show podcasts, that, get some information that is potentially helpful to people.
Yes. I've listened to some of the podcasts. I found them very helpful.
Oh, thank you. So that's what my raison d'etre, as they say. Raison d'etre. Raison d'etre. So
Yes, I haven't heard that word for quite a while.
No, I haven't either. Not sure if my French accent is really up to much.
It's coming up. Oh, that's lovely.
That's funny, isn't it? But there you go. So when you get to Zimbabwe at the end of the week, I mean, what a fantastic 48 hours that you're going to be going through.
Yes.
What is the first thing that you're going to be doing?
Really, the first thing what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to see whether I can go to Malawi. I've got an open invitation to go and see I'm quite good friends with the ex-president, the first female president in Africa. She's based in Malawi. That's where she was president of. And I've always wanted to go and visit her and to catch up about what she's doing for women and girls and children. She's got a lot of projects around children, and I wanted to go and see them, but because of COVID, so that's the main thing I want to do this time. But I don't know whether the Malawian borders have been open. She said, Nyasha, they've not been open for quite a while now. So I just want to touch base with her. I'm going to follow up some of the women. I did a women goal setting session in Zimbabwe with women entrepreneurs. I want to follow them up about where they are with their goals. I'm going to be, I'm doing farming in Zimbabwe on my mom's farm. So I'm going to be following up what's going on with my crops there. I planted a lot of peanuts and groundnuts and maize, and so I want to follow that up. Last time I left, they were full of weeds. Because it was raining, it rained every day. It never gave us any opportunity to actually do the weeding. And I'm turning my mom's farm into organic farming. So we haven't worked on it for the last 2 years since she died. And so I'm experimenting with organic fertilizers and manures and see what's going to happen. So I'm not going there for long. I'm only going for 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks and 3 days. And So my main focus, I think actually when I go there, Zimbabwe is still going to be locked down. So the main place I'm going to be is either in my mom's farm or my mom's house. That's the
Oh,
two
lovely.
places. I don't think I'm going to see or meet that many people.
No.
Last time I was there, I didn't see anybody.
What is it like out there at the moment, Nyasha?
So it's summer, so it's raining and it's hot. And the last 3 years, Southern Africa, including Zimbabwe, have had drought, so there's hardly been any rain. And this year it's been the other way around. Some people are actually gonna have drought because poor harvest because of too much rain. And it's just incredible. It's just rained, but it's lovely. It's just the ground needed, the water was needed. I think the levels of table water was low, and people were traveling miles and miles to fetch clean water. The local rivers and whatever, they were all dry. So it's at the moment, it's very green and lush. I've never been in Zimbabwe since I left Zimbabwe. During the summer months, I normally go Easter because that's the time when you're harvesting all the nuts and the whatever. So that's the time I normally like to go to Zimbabwe. But this time I had to do the hard work. I had to grow these things myself.
Really?
So it was for me, it was very therapeutic being in Zimbabwe. Going back really to my childhood experience of literally growing things from nothing, plowing, weeding. I've not done that. I've not done this for 50 years. So it was hard work, but it was also very good for me. And there's something about, being in touch with the earth and actually dealing with the earth, the mud, the soil. I don't know, there's something therapeutic.
I mean, that's why you started Vanna as well, didn't you? The farm in Buckingham. Is it? It is Buckinghamshire, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the border of Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire. And yes, and that started from my therapeutic background as a child psychotherapist around this issue about if you're nurturing something, you're actually nurturing yourself. So if you're seeing a cabbage grow, a seedling, you've got to nurture it, you've got to feed it, you've got to water it, and emotionally you're actually feeding your soul, yourself, and just mucking in, cleaning the pig's house and the chicken house. It's just, for me, it's so therapeutic because it's so different what I normally do if I'm not sitting on a Zoom meeting. It's a bit like I love washing up and ironing because it just takes me out of this busy thinking. It's so mundane, and it just for me, I practice my mindfulness then when I'm doing my ironing.
I think that's good though, don't you? Because we need that kind of mindfulness because we're living in a world that things have become a lot faster.
Information. For me, it's just too much information, and my brain is on all the time, and I just need something which doesn't tax my brain, which is so mundane, which is repetitive. You know what I mean? I just enjoy it. I really just enjoy it. So I love being in Zimbabwe. My mom's house, I've got a swimming pool. I get into routine of walking in the morning. I end up in the swimming pool. It's completely different lifestyle.
But you need to have that downtime as well as being, this woman who's on a serious mission to sort out as many children and women on the planet as she can.
Yes, I need to that. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm working with the children. Last time I went to finish off giving the Christmas dinners, parcels we were sending. We had to get a letter from the government to go and distribute them. So, one day I'm swimming and doing my walk and whatever. The next day I'm distributing food parcels to these children in very difficult situations. Next minute I'm spending an afternoon with a group of teenagers in lockdown, mainly girls, and talking to them about their aspiration, their wishes, what their dreams are. Meeting, for some reason, doesn't matter where I go, I'll find myself surrounded by women entrepreneurs. And it was so funny. The last time I went to my grandmother's house, but my auntie actually lives there. And I just went to see my auntie, and for the afternoon, and actually for the day, I went there in the morning. And then this woman turns up, and she's carrying a basket, and I said, "Oh, what's she doing?" And she was in this basket. She was selling tea bags, dried fish, something else I can't remember, sugar, something like that.
Yeah.
And she said my auntie was one of her best customer, because I had arrived. I brought my auntie some tea bags. She didn't have any tea bags. I'd done the shopping. I thought, oh, I've disturbed your enterprise today, because my auntie said, oh, I can't buy anything, because Nyasha's brought me the tea bags and the sugar she normally buys from her. And I was just started talking to her about where does she get the supplies, who are her customers in this village in the middle of anyway. I said, look what happens to me. I attract these women, and she was feeding her children from very little. She orders these things for $10, and she makes about $15 from after she sold them, and then she repeats it, and she's sending her children to school from the $5 she makes.
That's amazing, isn't it? In itself, it is about looking after your children, and that has got to be some sort of inspiration as well. As you're right, women, I think, but that is, I mean, what an amazing woman herself doing that. Because it's not easy, is it? As
It's
a
just
woman,
not easy. And she said, I couldn't just stay at home and do nothing. I had to do something, because I want my son to go to school. And she walked miles. Honestly, I'm sure she walked 12 miles to get to my aunt's village. She had to walk another 12 miles to get back home.
Yeah, but it's, that is just fantastic story, and what an amazing woman to do that, and protect her little ones.
Yes,
because I do believe there are people on this planet who should never have children.
Yes, definitely.
And then there are people on this planet who would move heaven and earth for their children, and I think that is definitely incredibly commendable, even if that's the only ever job that you do in lifetime. I think it's the most important job, because you are shaping the future of our world.
The future, of course you are. It's the most, I don't know whether in society being a mother is not really valued. Being a stay-at-home mother is not valued. And I've got so many examples of friends and family who chose to be at home. And whenever they go to networking meetings with their husband, people are not interested. The minute you say, oh, I'm a mother, and also as women, we do that. We say, oh, I don't do anything. I'm a stay-at-home mother. So they already putting themselves down before anyone, because that's what the society expects you. You don't do nothing, but you are home. But for me, I think it's the most important job in the whole world. When you are home, you're not doing nothing. It's so busy. Housework alone, 1 minute you're being a taxi driver, the next minute you're cooking for them, the next minute you're wiping the nappies. You know what I mean? I just think it's such a busy job, and it's not nothing. No. And it's a huge contribution. As I said, in society, it's not valued. And it's such a shame. It's just for me, I just feel it's just a lopsided view of looking at somebody. We value really strange things. The CEO, they're the most valued in the food chain, you know what I mean? In terms of how much they then get rewarded financially. Where the mother at home, it's very difficult. They do this work for nothing. They don't get paid. No. And when I'm talking about my work with women entrepreneurs in Africa, you can actually have somebody working, being a mother, tilling their ground and whatever. And at the end of the day, if the rain fails, they don't get paid. But it's not because they haven't worked. And and at the end of the day, they actually do, at the end of the year or that season, because they're relying on nature for the rain to happen or the sun to grow the stuff, get anything out of it. And they've worked so hard for months on end, and they've got zero income. And that is not valued either.
It's
Society
not
doesn't value it because it hasn't produced anything. So you're of no value. You are a peasant, or you're stuck in this poverty situation. Yeah, well, I think society have got a different way of valuing what is important.
I think so. And this is sort of, something that has definitely struck me. I mean, especially with the media thing as well, this whole idea of, your people giving them thousands and thousands of likes for just someone smiling in a certain way or whatever.
Yeah, I just find that really a picture of a dog, cat, anyway.
Well, I don't know about a cat and a dog. I don't know about a cat and a dog. I have to let you into a secret, Nyasha. I love my cat. He's
yes, I love my cat as well. I've got a cat and a dog. I love human beings and I love animals. I don't have anything against animals whatsoever. I've got lots of animals, and I absolutely love them to pieces. But if I'm to choose between an animal or funding or donating to an animal or a human being charity, I will always go for the human being.
No, absolutely.
I don't wish any animals any harm.
Well, the human beings, we are the caretakers of the planet, aren't we?
Yes, and we need to look after our animals.
Yeah, and we need to look after our animals, and we need to look after ourselves. And we need to understand that every person is, just the same of us. And, we're all equal, but some of us are
some of us believe they're more equal than others.
Yeah, some of us are more capable, but I mean, I think that's a good way of putting it, isn't it? Really. But, I don't know about you, but I kind of truly believe that most people are capable.
Yes. I believe that most people are capable, and if they have access to resources, they can actually more than capable. They can excel. And my global wish in terms of entrepreneurship and whatever is to try and reduce this inequality so that we all have access to the same resources. That is really my passion, to live in a world where we are all equal.
Nyasha, thank you so much for coming on Tea Time with me.
Oh, it's absolutely a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And I really appreciate your time. Take your time to interview me. And if I can help any of your audience or your other speakers, just reach out.
Look forward to chatting with my next guest on the Tea Time sofa. In the meantime, if you would love to get in touch about having a chat with me, you can reach me on teatime@forthenow.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram on Tea Time with AM. Bye for now.